Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome if you are new here. My name is Shan from HomeWithShan over on Instagram, and you've probably noticed by the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about our wedding venue, which I'm so excited that we've now officially booked. And I'm not going to tell you exactly when, but our wedding is in under a year. So we've booked the date, we know when we're getting married, it's all very exciting. So with all that being said, this video is going to be me talking to you about the wedding venue that we have chosen. I took loads of footage when we went there, and actually in my last wedding video on the Wedding Wednesdays series that I've started here on my channel, I actually spoke about like the first 5 steps that I took in terms of wedding planning. So if that's like where you're at in terms of your wedding planning journey, then definitely check that video out. In that video I collated loads of information about loads of the venues that we really wanted to go and see. I selected about 5 that I wanted to go and look at, all very similar in style because we were very drawn to that style. And the style of our wedding is going to be like a rustic barn venue, and we knew that that's what we wanted. We selected 5 that we wanted to go and look at. We got all the quotes from everywhere and we went to see our favourite one first. Now because we went to see our favourite one first, we absolutely fell in love with this place, so much so that we cancelled all of the rest of our bookings. It was just perfect on every level. So we literally didn't look at any other venues. We looked at one venue and then booked that one venue, which is completely against all of the advice that you ever get from anyone that's planning a wedding. But for me, we just knew, like, as soon as we left, I was like, what did you think? Really, what did you think? And my partner was like, yeah, that's our wedding venue. And I said the exact same. So we literally got home that weekend and we were like, should we just book it because we love it so much? Let's secure a date. When we were at the venue, we went through availability and stuff with the wedding coordinator that showed us around everywhere, and she told us the dates that they had available, so we knew the dates that we had to play with, and we chose our perfect date. And now we've got a wedding day and it's so exciting. It feels so real now that we know exactly where it's happening and when it's happening, and now everything else can fall into place. So without further ado, let's get into the footage of our dream wedding venue in the UK. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So when we arrived at our wedding venue, we drove up through the beautiful grounds. It was so stunning, so well kept. Like, you cannot believe how well kept this venue is in terms of the amount of space that they've got, the amount of greenery. Everything was so pristine, and I was so impressed as soon as we arrived. We looked around a little bit just on the outside when we was waiting for the wedding coordinator, and we loved the outside. It was just beautiful. There were so many rustic barns, and it's actually like an old medieval town or old medieval sort of village, or the remains of one, and it was so stunning. And when the wedding coordinator showed us around, she actually showed us the oldest building, which dates back to the 1537, I think she said. It was incredible, so beautiful, and it's definitely completely up our street. The first place that we went into was the ceremony barn, and I kid you not, I was blown away when I walked in. It was so stunning. I've always said, even look back on my old previous Q&A videos, have a barn, loads of beams, and then fairy lights all over the place, and I will be happy. And this is exactly that. It's so stunning. You can get married at either end of the barn. You can have the ceremony looking out with the glass and the beams going through it, which I think is so stunning. I feel like that's such a beautiful combination of modern and rustic and old school. I just love it so much. Or you could have the ceremony facing the other way, which is very rustic again. I can just imagine this barn dressed up with some flowers, some greenery, some beautiful fairy lights everywhere, and it's just gonna look so beautiful. The beautiful rustic medieval chandeliers at the top of the barn that go all the way, like the whole length of the ceiling is covered in them. It's so beautiful. I cannot tell you, the footage definitely doesn't do it justice. It is so stunning in real life. I absolutely love it. I took a picture. The picture you can see the clarity a little bit better. It is so stunning. Unfortunately, the venue wasn't set up in a wedding style when we looked around it, but you can just imagine with the beautiful chairs they have available at no extra cost. A lot of the times these kind of chairs are something that you have to pay extra for, but these ones are like the standard ones they use at this venue, and honestly they're so beautiful. The thing is with this venue, I don't even think you have to decorate much because it's already so beautiful. Anything else is just going to be an added bonus. I am just such a huge fan of the entire vibe of that ceremony barn. It literally screams us in terms of what we would be looking for, and as soon as we walked in I was just like, this is, we are getting married here, like it has to be here. It was just so perfect. Then when we left the ceremony barn, we actually went around the grounds. So you start in the ceremony barn and then you walk all the way around, and there's these beautiful grounds where you actually have the option to get married if you want to. Outside weddings are really, really popular. For some reason I'd never really wanted that. I think probably it's the practical side of me that thinks maybe it will rain or maybe it will be too hot. I don't know. I just, in my head, I've never ever imagined getting married outside. But if I was ever going to get married outside, it would definitely be here. They have like a beautiful archway where the bride and the bridal party and everyone would walk down. So the aisle is insanely long. So you get your spotlight moment for a very, very long time. And then you get married at the end where there's a little duck pond gazebo kind of thing. And the duck pond is beautiful. And the wedding coordinator was telling me that they have all this stuff like sorted out in the pond so it never smells or anything, which is a very, very good touch, because I can imagine in the heat of summer flies and stuff like is a no-go, but apparently they've got that sorted. But like I said, the archway that the bride and the bridal party would walk down is just stunning. Like pictures and stuff there is just going to be so beautiful. I cannot wait. Another really cool thing is, even if you don't get married outside, you can still have complete access to all of these grounds for the reception drinks or for afterwards in the evening if people want to come outside. Say if you've got a really lovely evening and it's light and bright still in the evening time, then that would be a perfect nice area for people to come and chill, or maybe you could have entertainment out there. It would just be so stunning, especially for a summer wedding. After we were done outside, we walked all the way around in like a loop and we came into the reception barn, which, guys, it's just perfect. Again, it's very similar to the ceremony barn, but I guess it's less romantic and a bit more cozy. That's how I would describe it. It's stunning because it's got the mixture between the modern glass and the bifold doors to go out onto the lawn area, but you've also got then all the rustic barn vibe inside. I keep saying rustic barn because it is literally my perfect venue. If I was literally going to describe a venue, it would be this, and the fact that I've been able to find it just makes me so excited. Again, as you walk into the wedding venue or the wedding reception area, this is where you would have like the wedding breakfast and do all your speeches, and then you can have like the dance floor and everything there as well. So it's like the all-in-one area. As you walk in, you've got the beautiful chandeliers throughout this barn as well, which I was just blown away by. I think it's so stunning. We're thinking about having round tables throughout this part of the venue, and then we would have the dance floor, maybe move a couple of the tables a little bit later and have like the dance floor and the party bit here as well. All of the fairy lights on the beams and everything are all included, which I absolutely love. I probably will add even more fairy lights and even more like maybe some LED candles and things like that, because in this venue, because it's a grade 2 listed building, there's absolutely no open flames allowed, which is completely understandable, because could you imagine if you caused a fire in this place? It would literally be a nightmare. So yeah, LED candles, that kind of vibe maybe, but fairy lights, honestly, everywhere would just be my ideal evening. I feel like the footage doesn't give it justice because it was just so beautiful. It's really big, really airy. You can open the bifold doors if you want to before I think 11 o'clock, because then that's when the noise reduction thing comes in, but you can have that all open. There's a bar available as well, which they have fully staffed and everything. You can either have an open bar or you can just have paid drinks or whatever. It is just perfect, and I cannot wait for this day because it's just going to be so amazing to have this entire space to ourselves with all of our friends and family. It's just going to be so fantastic. Then when we were done going around the venue itself, we actually asked if we could go and look at the guest accommodation and the bridal suite, because we would like to rent out as much accommodation for our friends and family as much as possible, because a lot of our friends and family will be traveling to our venue, so we really wanted to make sure that we had a lot of accommodation available for them. And this venue, this wedding venue, did not disappoint, I tell you. They had 2 guest houses. Both of like the guest houses were like nice stably barn again kind of vibe, but inside was completely modernized and it was really clean and beautiful, and you can tell that they've put a lot of work into the guest accommodation. But I have to say the bridal suite or the honeymoon suite is by far the best. The first guest house that we went into, it had a really lovely kitchen, like a communal area, so it had like the dining bit, a bit of a lounge area, and also the kitchen for in the morning and stuff. All the breakfast and stuff is included, so they bring over croissants and like orange juice and things like that for the guests in the morning. But this guest house is amazing because it's actually got a family room, which is perfect for us because we've got lots of friends and family that have kids and they'd obviously want to stay there with them, and the fact that it's so close to where the venue is actually just perfect. It's so convenient. So like I said, there was a family room, but there was also then 3 other twin rooms, which is perfect because you can either have 2 single people staying there or mother and child staying there, or you could just push the beds together if there was a couple staying in there. It's just perfect. And every single room had an ensuite, which is just brilliant, because if everyone's staying in the house that aren't like best of friends but they're family, or they're people that know each other but they don't want us to share a bathroom, that's just perfect, because then they can get like breakfast together and stuff in the morning, but they equally don't have to. It's just so convenient, and we've already figured out like who's staying in every room and each house and all that kind of stuff. It's just fantastic. When we went into the second house, a very, very similar setup. They had a communal kitchen area and then like the living room area, and then they had all of the separate rooms. I think in this one there were 3 twins and a double, but I think one of the twin beds were pushed together. So this one again is perfect. So the first one slept 10, I believe, and the second one slept 8. The fact that our closest guests will be able to stay over the night is just so perfect for us. I'd really like to put up my bridesmaids and obviously my family. Same with Ash and his groomsmen and all that kind of stuff. So it would just be perfect if everyone can like stay there, they can enjoy their time, they don't have to worry about taxis and things, and they can just stay over, and it's just exactly what we wanted. But after we checked out the guest accommodation, we went over to the bridal suite, which, let me tell you, this footage does not do it justice because it is absolutely stunning. So perfect. I couldn't have wished for anything more. As we were walking over to the bridal suite, or the honeymoon accommodation at the wedding venue, I just had a little pan around to show you like the rest of the venue from the outside, and you can see the old Tudor barn, you can see the ceremony barn, or I think it might have been the wedding reception barn. Honestly, it's so close, so it's so convenient. We can just like get all our stuff and take it back there, and we can just go back there whenever we feel like we need to. We can pop to and from. It's so convenient, which I just think is going to be perfect for us. So we had a little look around the bridal suite, which was, like I said, absolutely perfect. We loved it so much. And then we had a little chat about prices and things. I'll show you the prices. I'm not that precious about it, but I will be doing a very in-depth video about like the wedding costs. I've obviously got a spreadsheet, obviously got our costs down, I know what our budget is and everything. So if you're interested in like talking through how much the wedding is going to cost bit by bit, obviously we haven't booked everything so far, but the things we have booked, like the venue, like the catering, and like the photographer, are the main things really, that in terms of how much they cost. So yeah, I'd really love to do that video if you're interested. So if you are interested in a full budget breakdown video, then let me know in the comments down below. Give it a like and I'll know to make that video, and I'll be as in-depth as you want me to be. But I can tell you, for the wedding venue hire and the ceremony barn, that alone costs £4,800. That is without catering, that is without the honeymoon suite, that is without the guest accommodation. So let me tell you, this venue is, I mean, it's expensive, but wedding venues are expensive. We could have gone for a different option. We actually had a very affordable wedding venue lined up to see later that day, but we just fell in love. We couldn't not get married here, and I think maybe it was a bit of heart over head, but I'm so glad that we've booked it. We are definitely going to be smart in terms of where we spend our money. I am really excited to talk about this a little bit more, all of the different things, and let me know what kind of wedding content you want to see, because I don't want to bore you guys, because I know that this is slightly different from my normal content, but equally it's a really big part of my life at the moment, so I would love to document it as much as possible for future Shan to look back on maybe. But anyway guys, that is the wedding venue of our dreams in the UK. I'm so happy with it, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know what they are down below, and I will be letting you know exactly the wedding venue in the description box. So I'm not going to say it in the video, but if you want to know exactly what this wedding venue is, check it out down below. I'll link it down below. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. But for now guys, if you did like this video, give it a like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
I feel like I've been here before, familiar with the view, this ain't nothing new. And every time that you walk through the door, I'm hit by the same old tide, blinded by